Deleted session, November 26, 1975. Now there are indeed heroic dimensions. There are heroic civilizations that coincide with your own. Their time scale is far vaster than the one you recognize. The kind of reality that you understand forms the least active portion of their actuality and would represent, for example, only a relatively defensive or inferior state of consciousness and comprehension, a state like, perhaps, senility. In the time in which we are speaking, the duration of those lives straddles your centuries. The individuals concerned by these standards are not unusually long-lived, however. They would feel no older after 5,600 years than one of you at 80. In ways almost impossible to describe, your realities mix and merge at certain points. You become aware of their existence, but in the meantime, often your generations change, while theirs has not, and so they appear internal in conventional terms. They are human. They are, however, heroically human, in that the characteristics of that species are carried as far as possible to fulfillment. On the other hand, they followed a different kind of development, primarily a mental and psychic one that carried them into another kind of experience, so different as to be alien in quality and degree. In another way, your existence is a part of their heritage, so that they keep in certain contact. You might say that their mental and psychic development exists, comparatively speaking, at least several levels above your own. Their natural capabilities, however, developed from the human stock and lie latent within your species. So, some of you at times attain a momentary psychic acceleration that lifts you to that level. All of the great historical figures, to some extent or another, attained that development. In one way or another, the more powerful truths or facts of this higher dimension were interpreted and set down. Christ said that with faith you could move a mountain. He meant that quite literally. The word psyche is in transition. Michelangelo lived literally again in the heroic dimension. Only his physical condition connected his reality with the known one. You can therefore inhabit the heroic dimensions in the most vital of ways while you still live on one level your recognized existence. Your beliefs form your reality. You are born on faith in those terms. You believe you can write books and paint pictures, and you do. These are ancient truths. They are behind each region. Now you are yourselves alive in the heroic dimension, and there your existences here are consciously embarked upon journeys. You keep track of them easily. The two dimensions are not separate. Therefore, there is importance, significance in your suggestion that Rupert send energy to his body, and in your suggestion that he look for the library, as there is in his new attraction to his painting. You say that the books are Rupert's, yet I told you that you are also responsible for your combined intents, purposes, and abilities, combine to form a super intent, a super purpose, a super ability, and propel you into those heroic dimensions. Because you have so joined yourselves, devote yourselves from many other more normal pursuits, so these abilities work in whatever area you operate. Rupert is acutely sensitive then to your own inner purposes and questions about the universe, as you are to his, and these propel you jointly into areas most difficult to travel otherwise. Your beliefs in the possibility of such knowledge makes such knowledge accessible. When each of you doubt together, however, the effects are as strong and quite as united. In that regard, you have not used your joint abilities to uphold your strengths. Much of your experience in the heroic dimensions occurs in the dream state, and is then somewhat distorted. You met your brother there. Dick, where his momentary understanding and illumination allowed him to appear. You saw also an Oriental version because his daughter, noted Teresa, said, who was also connected to him in an Oriental existence, was about to bear a male child. Robert travels in the heroic dimensions, and the library exists there. They are ring-fenced to the psyche and to your own relationship with Robert and with me. He often looks to you for signals, as you look to him for signals at other times. Much of this is put in terms that you can understand. It must be in your language, your neurological language. There are languages that do not fit that pattern. It is easy for you to think in terms of messages taking centuries to pass through space with your technology. In those terms only, some messages can take centuries to pass through the psyche, that greater psyche that straddles the eons. In your reality, it seems only practical and sane to accept the evidence of your senses. In many instances, however, the two of you have defined such limitations, or these sessions would not happen, and you would have embarked upon no such exploration. When Robert took your second apartment, he did so taking it on faith and against all physical evidence to the contrary that he would have the money to afford it. And the money came. Yet whenever you begin a new situation of physical improvements with Robert, after the first enthusiasm, the both of you instantly revert to the old test it out at once, check the physical evidence kind of thinking. This immediately removes the necessary conditions for improvement. These are laws. When you start checking in that manner, it is because you doubt the results. When you feel that way, then it seems sheer Pollyanna to believe in improvement, for you are again faced with the evidence upon which you focus your attention. Since the two of you together follow more or less the same pattern of reaction there, you are faced with spotty results. A child knows something will go away if you pretend it does not exist. To the adult, this seems like the sheerest of nonsense, yet the child's connections with the heroic dimension still remind him of that truth. You simply have not learned to use the rules in that level of your experience. Your joint belief, however, has been roused with excellent results, and when you believe in Robert's recovery, he instantly begins to improve. You simply have not followed through. In other areas of your lives, you have made such advances that you are no longer aware of. For example, possible pitfalls, completely escaped. Your wealth will accumulate because you no longer take poverty for granted. Believe in Robert's flexibility and it is there. Believe in his rigidity and it is there. Believe in your wealth and it accumulates. You dwell partially in the heroic dimension, therefore, to a considerable enough degree, so that you can glimpse its existence. What I appear to be is your interpretation of what I am. And earlier this evening, Robert dimly glimpsed that my apparent reality in a quite inferior version. It is enough, however, to give you an idea. I am filling the house with energy for you to use. I will also enlarge the frontiers of your dreams. I bid you a fond good evening. Rosset, the same to you says good night.